Hey, so it's a new year, which means it's time to start looking at those business goals. So I'm going to share with you in this video 4 things that you can do to help you to set and achieve your 2021 business goals. For those of you who do not know who I am, my name is Lucille Roache. I am a business startup coach and I help new female business owners who are feeling stuck and confused about what to focus on in their business, create a step-by-step plan of action to set them up for success. So let's get into these tips. So the first tip that I have for you is to keep the end in mind. A lot of the times when I am working with women and I'm asking them about their goals and what their focus is on their business, they're not focused on the end result. So for example, you may say that you want to update your website, but what's the impact of that? What's the end result that you want to achieve as a result of updating your website? It's likely that what you want to happen is you want prospective clients to land on your website and to either buy a product, buy a service, or opt into some free gift that you have. So your overall objective is to convert visitors to your website. So by having that as the objective, it helps you to get clearer as to the things that you can do. And so if your overall objective is to convert visitors to your website, then yes, updating your website is one thing that you can do, but then there are lots of other things that you can do as well. So you can create a free gift on your website. You can have something that somebody can download on your website. So by thinking about the end result, it helps you to get clearer about the steps that you can take to reach that end result, and it opens up the possibilities for the things that you can do. The second tip that I have for you is to be specific. A lot of the times I will be working with somebody and I'll ask them, well, what is it that you want to achieve? And I'll get this convoluted response that's really unclear and it isn't specific. And then when you boil it down, they're like, I just want to get some clients. Well, what does that mean? How many clients do you want to get? How many clients can you work with? So be specific about what it is that you want to achieve. If it's a financial amount, if you want to earn £10,000 a month, then you need to understand, well, what does that £10,000 a month look like per week, per day, per hour, if you charge by hour? Because once you know that information, then you are able to get really clear about how many products and services you need to sell to be able to hit your target of £10,000. So that's what being specific is about. The third tip that I have for you is to understand what's involved in you completing your goal. So you'll have your goal. So for example, your goal may be to convert visitors to your website, and you may have a specific number. So you may say that each month I want to be able to convert 20 visitors from my website to be on my email list. Well, if that's your overall goal, if that's what it is that you want to achieve, then you need to break down what's involved in doing that. So first of all, you have to have a website for people to land on. So what's involved in you completing a website? Well, first you have to understand, well, what's the content that I want to include on the website? What pages do I want to include on the website? How do I want to lay everything out? What images do I want to use? What domain provider am I going to go for? What name am I going to use? I'm going to need terms and conditions. I'm going to need an email form on my website as well, so I can collect the details of visitors to my website, people who want to download my free gift, and then I'm going to need an email provider that's going to send that free gift to them. So do you see how by breaking it down, this one small task becomes much bigger? So it's really important to understand the strategy that's involved in you completing your goal. And the way that you do that is by keep breaking down and drilling down into what's involved in you completing this task. What do I need to do in order to achieve this goal? And then the fourth tip that I have for you is to be sensible with your time. So to effectively manage your time. And I've made this mistake so many times in my business where I have given myself a specific amount of time to complete an activity. So let's stick with the website for consistency. So I may say it's going to take me, I don't know, a week to complete my website. In actuality, it's going to take me much longer than a week to complete my website, particularly if you've never done it before. So if you are encountering a task in your business that you've never done before, my advice to you would be to always overestimate the time you think it's going to take you. So if you're updating your website, if you think it's going to take you a week, double or triple that time to 3 weeks, because you don't have anything to compare it to. So it's better to overestimate that time and be wrong. So overestimate how long you think it's going to take you to do something. And then once you have completed your website, once you have gone through the process of doing everything that you need to do for your website, note down the time that it actually took you to complete your website. Because with business, a lot of the times, the activities that you carry out in your business are going to be replicated. There's going to be times you're going to have to do it over and over again. So your website, for example, you're constantly going to be updating it. I say constantly, regularly. You will regularly be updating your website because you will change what you want changes. And so by having an accurate estimation as to how long it took you the last time to create your website, you will be better able to plan your day. Because the way that I plan my time is that I will have specific things that I want to get accomplished during that day, and I'll give myself, next to each item, an estimate as to how long I think it's going to take me to complete it. That brings me on to my next tip in relation to time, which is being kind to yourself, because at the end of the day, you are not a machine, you are human. If you think that you've got 7 hours a day to work in your business, then be realistic and ask yourself, does that mean that for 7 straight hours, I'm just going to be sitting at my laptop working on my business? And the answer is no, because there are going to be other things that you're going to need to do as well. You're probably going to need to make dinner. You're going to be eating lunch. You may need to drop the kids off to school or to pick them up. So that's 7 hours that you think you have then comes down to 5 hours. So really look at the time that you've got during your day and be realistic with how much time do you actually have to spend on your business. Because then if you say that you've got 5 hours to spend on your business, then when you come to set the activities that you're going to complete for that day, you know what specific activities you can complete within that 5-hour time frame. Because there's nothing worse than giving yourself 5 things to do during the day, thinking that you've got 7 hours to be able to do these 5 things, and then only getting to complete partially 1 thing. You then beat yourself up over the 4 other things that you didn't complete in your business. So be generous with the time that you're giving yourself. Be realistic with the amount of time that you have to be able to complete the activities that you set. And if you are doing an activity that you've never done before, estimate how long you think it's realistically going to take you, and then double or triple that amount of time to give you that additional time to be able to complete that project, and then make a note of how long it actually took you to complete it. So those are the 4 tips that I want to share with you. I also want to give you one bonus tip as well, which is to know what your strengths are. So when it comes to setting goals for your business and completing activities, it's really important that you know what your strengths are. So if, for example, you aren't somebody who's great at writing, then giving yourself the task of writing your website is probably not the best thing to do, because you're either going to end up resenting it, or it's going to take you much longer because it's not something that you're great at. So by understanding the things that you aren't good at, you can then start to look at the resources that you need to help you to be able to complete your website. And then if you have the resources, you may be able to hire a copywriter to write the content for you. Or failing that, it may be that you decide that the best thing for you to do is to take a course on copywriting or website creation, so that you can get a better idea of how to structure your website, what content to include on your website as well. So I'm just going to reiterate those tips for you. So the first tip is to keep the end in mind. So focus on the end result that you want to achieve, and then backtrack so that you know what goal you need to set to be able to achieve that end result. The second tip is to be specific. So if you have a monetary goal that you want to achieve, if you want to work with a certain number of clients, be specific as to how many that is and how many realistically you can take on. The third step is to understand the strategy. So break down what's involved in you completing your goal. And then the fourth tip is to be generous with the time that you have. So overestimate the time that you think it's going to take you to complete an activity, and be realistic about the time that you really have during the day to be able to help you to complete your goals. And then the fifth bonus tip that I shared with you is to know your strengths, because by knowing your strengths, you can get a really good understanding of what resources do I need to help me to complete this activity. And that may be that you need to take a course, or it may be that you need to hire somebody to help you in your business. And so those are my tips. I hope that really helps you to start putting pen to paper or fingers to keyboard and start creating your plan for 2021, or whatever year you happen to be in, because these tips really apply no matter what year it is that you're sitting down and setting your goals. I also have something that's going to help you to get really clear on what to focus on in your business. And I've got a free 5-day video series, and it does exactly what it says on the tin. So over the course of 5 days, I'll share with you tips and strategies of things to spend your time and energy focusing on in your business, so that when you come to create your plan, you can make sure that you are spending your time on the activities that will actually help you and your business to grow. As I say, it's free. It also includes a worksheet as well for you to implement your learning and for you to make a note of the things that you've learned and to actually put into practice the things that you're learning in the videos. So the link to that free 5-day video series is just below. So click the link, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please let me know your comments and your thoughts. Tell me how it is that you plan for your business, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy goal getting.